Hey guys, you're watching Let's Talk About Prepping. I'm Tyler, your host, and in this video we're going to do our follow-up to the beans video that I did earlier today, because it's been just about enough time for these beans to have done whatever they're going to do in there. Now, I'm going to link that video down below just in case you did miss it. But basically, what I have here is a thermos full of some beans that I put in here boiling so that they could steep with just a little bit of salt and seasonings in there with them, and see if that'll get them nice and tender after having soaked overnight. Now I've been rotating this every once in a while to get the heat back on the bottom of the thermos and just to let the beans be in a different position and get the ones on the bottom of the thermos cooking with some of the heat from the others. So it's been about 10 hours I think, so let's see what we have in here. Now Hooples was pointing out that it might be pretty difficult to get these out of here if they're stuck to the sides from having expanded. I feel like I can hear a little bit of motion, but he made a really good point about a food thermos, which is basically one of these, but short and squat with a big wide mouth lid, maybe being a good option for this, and that may well be the case. I might look into that, but we'll see what we've got here today. Now I've got this spoon, which won't fit anyways, at least not that way, but we'll see what we can get out of here. Lots of pinto bean tea. That worked just fine. It's still a little tough. They're definitely edible. I don't know what they would do while you were digesting them, but they definitely break up into sections more than a mush. Now, they're not exactly too hot right now, so a lot of this might come down to the fact that this isn't a very expensive thermos, and it might have lost too much of the heat early on. But it definitely got the job done. They're definitely soft enough and flavorful enough that I can sit here and eat plenty of them. The real question would come down to what it would be like if you were doing this a lot and eating slightly undercooked beans on a regular basis. But they're not so undercooked that I'm not going to enjoy them with a little bit of corned beef. A little bit of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Some Tillamook cheese. So I approve this method. With this being my first attempt, I wouldn't expect this to go perfectly. But I got an edible meal out of it. And I'm sure that if I throw this into a soup with a little bit of ham or something like that, these are going to soften out with a full nether cooking and be pretty darn good. We need to remember that this is just an improvised method, and I always sort of planned on these being added to a sauce or a broth, or fried up in another fashion, or pounded up and turned into a refried bean or something like that. So it definitely got us through the first phase of just getting them softened and ready to be prepared in an actual meal. It gets us past that stage of your beans being hard little stones from storage to something that you can pop into your mouth and put in a baggie and take on the go. So I hope that's been interesting, guys. It's definitely important to look at how you're going to use your preps, because just stacking a bunch of stuff isn't going to cut it. Thank you to our anonymous fellow audience member who shared this. It's really helpful, and it's great to know that we've got a lot of audience members out there practicing their preps. Hope you're all doing well out there. Everybody stay safe. All right, mealtime. Get at it.